स्पीकर्स जो हमारे पीड़ित लोग हैं कि वो लोग स्टेज पे आए और आकर अपनी सीटें ले लें। Firstly, we'll be starting with a short screening about the shows of Kashmir, so please enjoy the video. Thank you.
आज़ादी कह रही है, आज़ादी दे दो, आज़ादी दे दो, आज़ादी कुछ नहीं है, वो तो आज़ाद है ही, क्योंकि वो कोई दूसरी गवर्नमेंट नहीं है। कश्मीर में अगर आर्मी नहीं हो जाएगी तो फिर आज़ाद कश्मीर है ना, कश्मीर आज़ाद हो जाएगा, कोई किसी को मानेगा नहीं, पाकिस्तान से आ जाएंगे लोग, उनको नहीं मानेंगे। कोई दूसरी जगह पर नहीं है, अपना अपना सिटी है, अपनी सब अपनी उनको कश्मीरी है, सब कुछ उनका है, हमें खत्म करें।
I really hope the video made you think about contributing for the cause, contributing for the ones who sacrifice their lives for the nation. To donate, you could either go to the crowdfunding portal or you could go to the app called Cred. So what happens with Cred is whenever you share this material on your social platforms, you credit some money. And you can choose to donate that money for this cause. So you can donate both ways. I hope you do. I really hope you do. Please spread this message as much as you can. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So thank you so much for your kind attention and for this reception. This song, I am Mahan. I'm an entrepreneur from Delhi, and I'm also a musician. So I wrote this song 10 years ago as a tribute to Kashmiri Pandits who have been who are not in Kashmir anymore, because I've been surrounded by all of them since my childhood. So it was a tribute about a Kashmiri Pandit, a little boy who was forced out of his land and who was forced to leave his land and leave everything behind to, settle somewhere where he does not belong. And the entire struggle of that Kashmiri Pandit boy was depicted through this song. And 10 years after, when I played every instrument on it, I sung the song, I produced it, even made the video. The idea was to go beyond music and do something to contribute for the scene. So if you see, there was a girl who was signing, she was making some sort of hand gestures in the song. Well, that isn't a dance, that's actually Smriti Nagpal talking in sign language. So in sign language, she's actually talking about what happened to the Kashmiri Pandit. She's talking from that boy's perspective. So the music video has been assembled as a fundraiser for our forces martyrs, the ones who are not there anymore, and their dependents. And it's been pushed. It was supported by K, Radhika Rajkar and everybody, and a lot of other nice people. So I hope the song inspired you a little, it did something, and you contribute a little for the dependents. Thanks a lot, Nishant.
Thank you. अब शुरुआत हम कश्मीर से ही करते हैं क्योंकि कश्मीर की बात शुरू हुई है। तो मैं डॉक्टर रैना से आपका परिचय कराना चाहता हूँ, और ये थोड़ी जल्दी में है तो पहले इनसे हम बात कर लें। आज से लगभग 30 साल पहले इनका संघर्ष शुरू हुआ, आज तक चल रहा है। जब कश्मीर के पंडितों को बेदखल कर दिया गया, ज़बरदस्ती बाहर भगा दिया गया और उन्होंने अलग अलग जगह शरण ली। मुझे याद है, मैं 89-90 की बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं एक छात्र था, तो अमर कॉलोनी के एक कैंप में 2-3 दिन मैंने बिताए कश्मीरी पंडितों के साथ, और उनकी स्थिति देखकर मैंने नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन को लिखा, एमनेस्टी इंटरनेशनल को लिखा कि ये स्थिति कश्मीरी पंडितों की हिंदुस्तान में हो रही है। बहुत ही दयनीय स्थिति थी, और सब मजबूत बैकग्राउंड से आए थे, और वहाँ सब जिस स्थिति में रह रहे थे, तो वो मेरी अपनी, और मैं बहुत छोटा था, छात्र था, तो बड़ा भावनात्मक भी हुआ उनको देखकर। डॉक्टर रैना से भी हम बात कर रहे थे। मैं चाहूंगा कि डॉक्टर रैना आप सबको अपने अनुभव बताएं कि किन हालातों में वो निकले वहां से, और 30 साल में जो संघर्ष रहा उसका भी अनुभव वो बताएं। डॉक्टर रैना।
Thank you, Kera ji. Mr. Kera, distinguished panelists on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and dear friends. At the outset, I wish to compliment you because the generation that has come to listen to us is the generation that must have born after 1990. They only must have heard our story from their parents, but they must have not witnessed the pain, the trauma, the anguish, the kind of insecurity, the kind of fear that was writ large on our faces. Anyway, I really compliment the organizers for producing this brilliant piece for posterity. See, the exodus of Kashmiri Pandits is a tragic human journey. We are a tiny community of about 4 lakhs. We're sitting in stayed in different parts of Kashmir. It was not a concentrated 4 lakh people just in Srinagar. These 4 lakhs were spread all over Kashmir. And imagine, in the intervening night of 19th and 20th January 1990, the entire community, almost 70% of the community had to migrate. Again, after we were forced to migrate from that place, the tag Kashmiri migrants was attached to us. Now, if you look at the nomenclature, it has different connotation. Migration in the English dictionary means that it's a voluntary act, whereas the hard fact of the story is that we are displaced, not only displaced, but dispossessed. Now, the script of the forced exodus of Kashmiri Pandits was written much before. It was in fact written in 1931 when a total family of Zarabat was wiped out in Kanikut. Kanikut is a small village in Tehsil Nagam, which comes in the district Badgam. That was in February 1931. It was followed by 13th of July, the loot and arson of Kashmiri Pandits in the economic hub of Kashmir, which is called Maharajganj, where scores of Kashmiri Pandits were killed. And then the formation of Muslim Conference. The founder father of Muslim Conference was Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah. And the ideology of Muslim Conference was that Maharaja Hari Singh was a Hindu who was ruling over J&K, and Kashmir was predominantly a Muslim place at that point of time. The slogan of Muslim Conference was that "Go back Maharaja." It was on the pattern of "Go back Britishers." There is a dichotomy. You have to understand that dichotomy. Maharaja Hari Singh was a state subject of J&K. He was not a foreigner. He was not an outsider, whereas Britishers were outsiders. And the seeds of anti-India, the seeds of separatism were sown on that very day when Muslim Conference was born in Kashmir. Then Pandit Nehru took the initiative, Congress took the initiative. They brought Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah to the mainstream of Indian politics and urged him that you don't continue, if you want to have separate Kashmir, or if you want to get rid of Maharaja from Kashmir, then you need to change Muslim Conference to National Conference. You've got to pave the way for all the communities to be part of your National Conference. And the only word that was dropped was Muslim Conference was dropped, and Muslim Conference became National Conference only by name. But the communal agenda of this political organization continued. When the first government was formed in 1947 under the leadership of Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, the first act that was passed, and the administration was in a very haste, that they passed Land to Tillers Act. Land to Tillers Act, what does it mean? The Kashmiri Pandits were deprived of their landed assets, and overnight they became paupers. And the hard fact of the story is that they were not paid any compensation, which was not consistent with the rehabilitation policy adopted by Government of India at that point of time, even now also. That was the first shock. And the minorities lost faith and confidence in the government of the state at that point of time. But it did not rest there only. You had laid the foundations. You had laid the foundations of anti-minority architecture, which created a structure. And simultaneously, small events here, small events there, they continued to pile up, till it became a festering wound. And the polity of Kashmir became polluted to the extent that the first shot, today we have AK-47s, that time we had 303 rifles, and the first 303 rifle ideological 303 rifle was shot in 1967 when a Kashmiri Pandit girl, Parmeshwari Handu, was forcibly converted. She was forcibly converted to Islam. She was a minor at that point of time, and Kashmiri Pandits led a ferocious fight to retrieve that lady to get her back to Hinduism. But that did not happen. What happened was that we lost scores of Kashmiri Pandits in 1967 agitation. And history is witness to the kind of cruelty that was perpetrated at that point of time. And the system flowed. The system continued. It became a saga of cruelties. And again, after approximately 20 years, that was 1986, what happened? Anantnag temples and spiritual centers of Kashmiri Pandits were vandalized. Vandalized to the extent that it was a scare. A scare was spread and it was written large on the faces of Kashmiri Pandits, and it had a larger message. What was the message? The message was that you are no more welcome in the valley of Kashmir. Your temples are not safe. Your spiritual centers are not safe. Till in 1990, we had to forcefully leave the place under the most unfortunate circumstances. Historians say that 1986 was a dress rehearsal. When we revisit history and when we revisit the whole thing, then we are forced to think that it is essentially a conflict between the civilizational state and an ideological state. The kind of struggle that Kashmir is passing through at the moment, which has anti-India overtones, which has religious overtones, now it has gone to the extremes of religious intolerance, is that they don't want a civilizational state of Kashmir to exist there, and they want to convert it into an ideological state. While there is no place for minorities, while non-Muslims are kafirs and they are infidels. That is the kind of situation and that is the kind of story that you got to listen and you got to know. And as a process of conflict between ideological state and civilizational state, Kashmir dominated over the state of J&K. Kashmir is not J&K. Kashmir is part of J&K. J&K means Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. But the commentary that is Kashmir specific and Kashmir centric, it is being seen as a Muslim victimhood. Kashmir narrative is being evolved as a victimhood of Kashmiri Muslims without taking Hindu dimension of Kashmir into view. Not only the physical annihilation. Kashmiri Pandits lost about 2,000 Kashmiri Pandits during the turmoil of 1990. That was not enough. There were recurrent Kashmiri Pandit massacres after 1990 exodus. First exodus was in 1997 under the name Sangrampura massacre. Sangrampura is written in the history with blood. Followed by Nadiman. Followed by Chitti Singhpura, where about 36 were killed. Followed by Telwani, where about 7 Kashmiri Pandits were killed. You had Kaluchik massacres. You had massacres in Poonch and elsewhere. The message was clear. When they asked Kashmiri Pandits to go, the message was that we are throwing out India out of Kashmir. It was not only Kashmiri Pandits, because symbolically Kashmiri Pandits represented India. You know, I am scrupulous. I have to. I believe in strong time management. I will conclude with one thing. If at all we have to solve Kashmir, or if at all we have to create Kashmir for India, then we have to create a legitimate political space for Kashmir and create a space for minorities and retrieve Kashmir for India. Thank you very much.
Dr. Raina दिल से, मन से अपना पूरा व्याख्या किया। कश्मीर की समस्या बहुत ऐतिहासिक है, ऐसा नहीं कि अभी शुरू हुई, उन्होंने पुराना बताया, उससे भी पहले का इतिहास है। और सरकारें किसी की भी रही हो, कश्मीरी पंडितों के साथ न्याय नहीं हुआ। मुझे याद है 1990 की जब ये बात कर रहे हैं, तब विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह जी की सरकार थी, भाजपा उसको समर्थन देती थी। कश्मीरी पंडितों के नाम पर उन्होंने भी समर्थन वापस नहीं लिया, उन्होंने भी राम मंदिर के नाम पर लिया। तो धोखा कई स्तरों पर इनके साथ हुआ, इसमें कोई शक की बात नहीं। डॉक्टर रैना को जाना है, उनका एक टीवी इंटरव्यू है जो मेरी वजह से इन्होंने आधा घंटा और आगे बढ़ा दिया, और वो नहीं आगे बढ़ा पा रहे। तो विद अपॉलजीज टू ऑल ऑफ यू, मे ही बी अलाउड टू। थैंक यू।
I really regret. I would have enjoyed your company, but I got to be there also because Kashmir, as it is dear to you, it is dear to us also, because we are first Indians and then anybody else. We got a victory for Kashmir for India. We got to have Indian presence, not by force only, but emotionally and psychologically also. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry for this disruption.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. Now let's begin with the program. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 13th #Adda. I'm glad to see you all as a part of a rich and pertinent discussion today. My name is Sriti Chaudhary, and I'm working as an intern for Studio Adda. Studio Adda is a Delhi-based research organization that challenges the status quo in politics, society, and culture through art, research, events, and discussions. Our organization has been deeply involved in exploring perception in all its forms and questions the accepted frameworks and stereotypes. We work in a wide range of subjects, from farmer suicides of Vidarbha to the temple practices of Tirupati, and produce academic research on electoral reforms to the best-selling fiction on political corruption. As part of the process of this understanding, Studio Adda has held the talk series #Adda that has sought to create a public sphere marked by its deliberative independence. This is a very special month today as we are having the event in the Independence Month. So we were looking for a topic that is not just in the news or a topic that we can debate on, but something which might set the agenda for the country. The event has become even more profound with the presence of the victims seated right here who have faced atrocities at different arenas. And today, all of them are sharing the same stage. We welcome you all here. With patriotism in the atmosphere, we wanted to raise and highlight some issue areas which need to be addressed. We would also like to thank the Quill Foundation and Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan to help us reach the victims. As mentioned, for the 13th #Adda, we will be discussing the topic, Delhi se dur, kya Bharat Mahan hai? Now, I would like to hand over the mic to my fellow teammate Anha Rizvi to throw some light on the topic.
Thank you so much. मीडिया। अब जब मीडिया की बात करते हैं तो मुझे जोसेफ स्टालिन का एक उद्धरण याद आता है कि सिर्फ एक मौत शौकांत है और असंख्य मौत आंकड़ा। मीडिया के समाज में काफी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। मीडिया को लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था का चौथा स्तंभ भी कहा जाता है, क्योंकि इसकी जिम्मेदारी देश और लोगों की समस्याओं के सामने लाने के साथ साथ सरकार के कामकाज पर नजर रखना भी है। लेकिन पिछले कुछ दिनों से मीडिया की कार्यप्रणाली और रुख पर सवाल उठने शुरू हो गए हैं। हालांकि इसमें दो राय नहीं है कि मीडिया पर उठने वाले सवाल में कहीं ना कहीं सच्चाई तो छुपी हुई है। अब सवाल किस तरह के? क्या मीडिया बदल रहा है? क्या पेड न्यूज सच में मीडिया में भ्रष्टाचार फैला रहा है? या फिर आजकल तो पीड़ितों को छोड़कर लोग सोने के अंडे देने वाली मुर्गियों पर ज्यादा ध्यान देते हैं। इस तरह मीडिया हो गई है हमारी। आज हम स्टूडियो अड्डा इस इवेंट के थ्रू यही पीड़ितों के थ्रू ये आप लोगों के सामने रखना चाहते हैं कि जो इश्यूज सामने आने चाहिए वो नहीं आ रहे हैं। अभी मैं कल ही बिहार फ्लड्स के लिए डोनेशन कलेक्ट कर रही थी और मुझे इतना शौक लगा कि लोगों को पता भी नहीं था बिहार फ्लड्स के बारे में। फेसबुक सब चलाते हैं, इंस्टा सब चलाते हैं, उससे थोड़ी बहुत न्यूज मिल जाती है तो ठीक है, लेकिन किसी को पता नहीं है क्योंकि कोई जानता ही नहीं इस तरह की चीजें हैं। तो मैं आशा करती हूँ कि इस इवेंट के थ्रू आप इस बात को समझेंगे और आगे अपनी जिंदगी में भी लागू करेंगे। नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू कॉल रागनी पंत फॉर अ ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द पार्टिसिपेंट्स एंड द मॉडरेटर। Hello everybody, thank you Anna. This month as the nation celebrates its 7 decades of independence, we at HashtagAdda, in our attempt to understand the meaning of independence for a large section of our people, decided to bring few of the invisible and marginalized voices. We have called these people the voices who have been deliberately silenced or have gone unheard on a platform to articulate their vision and meaning of independence. We are here not just to bask in the past glory, but to contemplate as to how free are we today. We at HashtagAdda believe that such debates are extremely necessary to incorporate these voices to enhance and shape our collective meaning of nation. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce my panelists. Mr. Irshad Khan is he's a son of Mr. Pehlu Khan, who was lynched on April 1st this year, and he's stuck at a traffic jam, and he'll be joining us soon. Today we have Santosh Tingre. Santosh Tingre is the son of Mr. Gyaneshwar Tingre. Mr. Gyaneshwar Tingre was a farmer who committed suicide in the year 2015 due to the agrarian crisis in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra. Even after 3 years of his father's death, he is still toiling to pay the amount that his father owed to the banks. Then Miss Saira.